Hello, this is Amanda from Kelly Music for Life and the Kelly Center in Havertown, Pennsylvania. And I'm really excited today because we have Caroline and JJ from the Carlile Family Band with us today. They're going to be doing a show for us on November 22nd. So we want to sit down with them, get to know them a little bit, and we're going to take it away. So welcome, Caroline and JJ. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing great. Thanks for having us.
Well, I'm very excited. So, and you are on your tour right now, obviously. So let everyone know where you are currently in the
We
world.
are we are just a little bit outside of Roanoke right now.
Okay, very nice. So, first off, I think everyone probably wants to know how you got started in music. Like, did music come naturally to your family, or, is it something you had to develop? Like, where did your love of music and your performance start?
So, music has been in the Carlisle family for forever. My great grandparents owned a dance hall in Minnesota where they would play dance music all night, and they would, and when I mean dance music, I mean like Western swing dance music.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
so all of
Love it.
our roots are in sort of like um in that sort of in the country music sort of thing. And then my grandma had a band in the 90s where she would do 90s country songs and in the bars and in the clubs. And as soon as my aunt and my dad were old enough, they would go out and then they would do shows and sing songs with her and her band. And then, of course, my aunt Brandi is a full-time musician. And how the music started for us was a prank between Aunt Brandy and Dad. And when we were one of our first Christmases, Aunt Brandy got us really annoying kid instruments that we would just spend hours every day just banging and strumming and tooting on stinking kazoos and penny whistles. And then eventually, and if you don't believe me, you can ask my dad, it started to sound actually musical. And so we started doing like little shows at our house, and anytime we would go over to the aunts and uncles for dinner, we would like do performances with our cousins. And then everybody was kind of like, this isn't that horrible. And so then my dad was like,
Love it.
okay, here's a banjo, here's a fiddle, here's a real guitar. And it just sort of progressed from do practicing for hours every day, taking some lessons, and then playing shows at like the local bar where we lived, and then doing shows in bars and breweries in the tri-state area. And then it just grew and grew to touring around the country the way that we do now.
That is awesome. Now, besides your family, who would you say are your musical influences? And if you, each of you want to say like who you listen to, or maybe you're even getting into different musicians now, or like who influences your musical style, would you say?
It just it changes all of the time just because we're always learning and experiencing new music. But I think for me, one of my biggest influences as a songwriter is John Prine, and one of my biggest influences as like an entertainer and a songwriter is Queen and Freddie Mercury,
Oh yeah,
and Dolly Parton.
great. And JJ, how about you?
Um, Pretty much. I kind of figured out that I could narrow it down to Gregory Alan Isakov. I've kind of learned that I like how he sings, and I like to sing like him. I like how he plays his guitar. That's I kind of narrowed it down to there.
And obviously, you know, Brandi Carlile music
Yeah.
and the music of the Carlile family.
Great. Well, the other thing I wanted to ask you, because this is such a family endeavor for you, what are the pros and cons of working with your family? Because you have your dad with you a lot as well, obviously. So, what are the good parts and the bad parts of working with with family? Or maybe there's
Pro
no bad parts. I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, pros are the fact that JJ and I have are young, and we have the support of being on tour with both of our parents. And we're supported by them as far as staying everything that like a normal musician would have to like has to plan out and do for themselves. Our parents help us with it, from big things like the fact that JJ and I do music full time, and we have parents that my mom works, so supports us kids in that way, but also just like staying organized, being on time, teaching us how to, be good people and also be good musicians,
Yeah.
and just sharing the burden with your family. But some of the cons are of running a business with your family is that I fight with my brother because he's my brother.
Yeah.
So sort of maintaining a balance and a mutual respect of being a family but also running a business together.
Yeah. JJ, how about you? What do you
I would. Oh, that look was scary. Um, Honestly, it would have to be the same thing. Knowing when to act like you're doing something with your family and when to break into a business mode to work on business things with music, whether we're even just hanging around the house, whether we're doing our school, it's
Right.
it's all it's all mixed up with music and family, and it's very confusing at times, and you kind of just have to, take a break and
Mhm.
Well, you're doing well with it so far, so
Yeah.
you must not be annoying each other too much, right?
No, it really is great 99% of the
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. Well, it's wonderful that you get to, spend time together in both capacities, so that's great. So, I've been listening to some of your songs, and to me it's incredible that, people who are so young are able to write these beautiful songs. So, tell me about the songwriting process for you. Does it, come naturally, or do you, how do you get your ideas, and how do you formulate a song?
I think that right now how we've been writing our songs is usually it starts with me experiencing something or feeling a certain way or having an idea, and I sit by myself in my dark basement for a couple of hours and I finish the idea until there's a decent structure to the idea. And then I go upstairs into the light and I sit in the living room with JJ and Dad helps me um he helps me edit the lyrics and he helps me get everything to a structure to where there's verses and choruses and it all makes sense, and then and like a clear vocal melody, and then JJ helps me write parts, solos, and introductions and stuff like that.
Okay. Very nice. So tell us about you have two singles out right now, Angeline and Time is on Your Side. So what inspired those two songs?
um Lyrically, both of those songs are about the experiences, are both songs that I wrote about experiences that I've had with just growing up and just experiencing stuff. Angeline is about the loss of a friendship, and Time is on Your Side is about learning about your parents and your grandparents and your aunts and uncles and starting to see them as people with their own personalities and things that they have to deal with every day. And musically, Angeline was just inspired by like Yesterday by the Beatles, and it was inspired by um just classic, folky John Prine songs. Same with Angeline. I mean, Time is on Your Side.
Okay, thank you. So you've been really busy on this tour that ends on the 26th, right? Your lineup is pretty hectic. You've had
Yeah.
a lot of dates, right? But what is your favorite part of touring, would you say?
My favorite part about being on the road is experiencing a diverse array of people and places and personalities. I think one of the coolest things about our job is like going to sleep in Louisiana and then waking up in New York City and experiencing the contrast between people and places and customs and stuff is very cool.
super super magical how we get from one place to the other when we just wake up.
Mhm.
It's almost as if someone gets up at 4 a.m. and drives
I
for
know, it's
five
crazy.
hours. Mhm.
That is like a nice perk. So JJ, you just kind of like seeing the new places and
Yeah. The different foods and the different places and the different people, I think. Uh Everybody like in Texas and Tennessee, they all talk with a southern accent.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
for some reason, every time they talk like that, it just makes me smile. I just love it.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
And then we're going to New York in a week or so, and we're
Yeah.
coming over the East Coast, and people talk very different on the East Coast. So it's very interesting.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So, all right. Well, I have to say, one of our longtime members of the Kelly Music for Life team, her name's Jeanette DeLugo. She is a huge fan of yours. She was lucky enough to see you at the Cayamo Cruise, both at your own packed performances and then on the main stage as well.
Very cool.
She wanted to know how it felt to know so many well-known national artists wanted to share the stage with you.
Intimidating and really cool because like the lineup last year was insane. So many amazing artists that I respected. I respect so much. I was starstruck half of the time. And everybody is just so good that it was really an honor to be able to play songs amongst such talented people.
Yeah.
Did you have any artists in particular that you really connected with, both of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um it was really cool to see Sean Colvin. That was
Mhm.
awesome. It was
Can't believe.
who else? The Lone Bellow.
Yeah.
I went to every single Lone Bellow show and it was amazing.
Mhm.
I got to meet Billy Bragg, which was really cool. He's just like he's such a living legend. It was very cool to be able to see him. And yeah.
Cool. JJ, did you have any favorites?
Um, Probably Gabe Lee. I loved his band and what they did.
And the Warren Treaty.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Talked to me and it was like, why
Yeah.
are you talking to me? You're so cool and I'm so lame.
What? Well, I'm sure they all loved you as well.
That was
So
really
Mhm.
incredible.
Yeah.
sounds like a really, really cool experience. So, okay, so you just announced an upcoming EP release show in Nashville on
Yeah.
January 11th. So that's really, I mean, Nashville is pretty exciting, but what was the process like of recording that EP? What was involved with that?
It was such a funny experience because we recorded it on the compound in Aunt Brandy's studio at her house. And so there are the if we had Aunt Brandy and me and JJ and Uncle Phil on bass, and then we did every single instrument in-house with just our family members except for the drums. And it was so fun because it was such a cool experience because we communicate differently because we're family members. There'd be moments where we'd just be like working on a songwriting project and we all just sit in silence and look at each other and think. And then um and then somebody would be like just blurt out what they were thinking, and then people would be like, yeah, maybe, but not that, but like this. And we could communicate in a way that was
Straightforward.
so straightforward and blunt, and you can only do that when you're working with your family, and it was great.
Yeah, good point. Point.
Hmm.
Well, I'm really excited to hear that as well. So, of course, you are coming to perform at our venue, the Kelly Center in Havertown, Pennsylvania. Again, that's on November 22nd. So for those who are seeing you for the first time, seeing you perform for the first time, what kind of experience are you hoping that they'll have?
Fun. We want them to feel a range of emotions. Um we're gonna talk about cowboy stories. We're going to do funny songs and serious songs about neurodiversity. We're going to do songs that we've written about our parents and about our experiences as teenagers. And we hope everybody has fun and is okay with me harassing people
Hmm.
and calling them old.
Okay, I mean, I think that all works for us,
Yeah.
and I think it's going to be a really, really nice show. Now, if the viewers want to find you on social media and whatnot, where do they go?
Okay. We have Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and it's all at the Carlile Family Band. We have a website where you can buy our merch. which is the carlilefamilyband.com. And we have a fan club that if you go to any of those places, it will be linked for you.
Awesome. I hope you're bringing some merch to the Kelly Center when you
We
perform.
will have so much merch for you at the Kelly Center. It's going to blow your mind.
Okay, I'm really excited about that. Well, thank you so much again, Caroline and JJ. We had a great time in our little chat today. And again, the Kelly Center on November 22nd. I don't think anyone's going to want to miss this show. And last opportunity before the end of this tour. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great show. So
Yeah.
can't wait to meet you in person. And thank you very much again.
Yeah. Thanks for having us. I really appreciate it.
Thanks. Hello, this is Amanda from Kelly Music for Life and the Kelly Center.